Our thoughts and feelings are our own and are not representative of Electronic Arts as a whole or anyone else.
Once again, it's time for the Team Lift podcast with your hosts, Brandon Bowie and Roderick McDaniel. Let's go ahead and get right into the show. All right, everybody. Now, I know you've been asking for a while, well, basically, here's what you've been writing. What the fuck happened to Team Lift? We're still here. We still
I died. That's what happened.
We still do a show. There is still a Team Lift show. We've just done a lot of anime shows over the last couple of weeks.
And I hate anime, so...
Yeah, so Brandon's in none of those anime episodes. But here's the weird part. We have been trying to work, eventually we are going to go to a 2-day-a-week show. There will be a regular show and a anime show.
Somebody needs to get a computer first.
We don't have to. We could just record 2 shows in one night and put them all out 2 days a week.
To get a computer
I'm
first.
never getting a computer. I've decided it. I figured it out last night. I'm giving up. Every time I save up money to get one, something goes horribly wrong. So I'm just done.
So stop saving money. Just take a little bit of money and buy one part, and then buy the next part, and then buy the next part, and eventually you will have a fucking computer.
No, it's not going to work.
It will.
It will not. Every time I try it, something goes wrong. Every freaking time.
I'm telling you, just buy the case. Once you have the case, later on, buy the power supply, then buy the fucking memory. Then buy the fucking hard drive space. Then buy a motherboard, buy a processor, you will eventually have a computer.
And it'll be outdated by the time I buy everything.
No, because you buy the board, the processor, and the graphics card last, and then it will not be out of date.
So board, processor, and graphic card last?
Yeah. Buy all the other little shit, and then you buy the big stuff at the end. That way, the big stuff that you buy is not out of date when you buy it.
Because the power supply never goes out of date.
The fucking power supplies these days have 10-year warranties on them. They never fucking die. I told you, the power supply that used to be in my machine is still fucking rocking in Bobby's machine. It was 7 years old when I gave it to him.
Yeah, I'm dying though, man. I was just giving up. I was about to tap out.
Now, if you just stop dying, that's the problem.
Now, that's another issue altogether. Literally, did not know I was that close to the doctor. My doctor had 0 bedside manner, so I'm a vet. So I went to the VA hospital. Mm-hmm. And this is how he said it. I think you have a sinus infection and it's severe, and you let it go and treat it so long that it was about to go septic in your head. And had it went septic near your brain, I wouldn't even be holding this conversation with you. I'd be talking to your family about how to bury you. And I'd be like, what the fuck? That's how you break it to me, doc? Just like, here's this. You fucked up. Don't do it again.
Hey, man, I would rather have that than some fucking shitty bedside manner that...
Where they sugarcoat you into your grave.
Yeah, just fucking tell me the truth.
He did. That's the beauty of military doctors. But you know what it is? I got good insurance, so I've been to good doctors, and they sugar you up. And when you go to a military doctor, he's like, fuck you. I don't care about your feelings. Wake up. Don't do dumb shit.
Man, have you ever heard Tom Segura's Dr. Dick?
Hell yeah.
Because that's
getting roasted by Don Rickles every time you go to the doctor.
Because I wrote here on the top of your chart, gay with a question mark.
Yeah, dude, that was my doctor, dude. He was fucking hilarious, man. He just ripped me a new one and didn't put me on enough freaking antibiotics to take down a baby rhino. So, as you know, I was Two-Face. I mean, you saw it when I came to work. I really, literally looked like Two-Face. One side of my face was swollen and puffy, and the other side was normal. And I couldn't figure out why. I thought I'd pop my jaw out of place because I have TMJ. So I thought I must have yawned in my sleep and popped my jaw really bad. Well, I wake up Friday morning and my face is tender. And it starts swelling a little. And then Saturday it was swollen. Sunday it was swollen. By Monday, it's now swollen and so painful, I can barely keep my left eye open. Yeah. And I still came to work. Gonna push for day 5. Ugh. I was on day 4. 4 days, face swollen, come to work. Fuck it. I'll just take some Tylenol.
Yell at some people about FIFA.
Yeah. And then that's when they were like, no, your face is fucked up and you got to go to the doctor. And I'm glad I went, because if it gone septic, you would be looking for a new partner for this show. And I would have been out of my school loan. So it's a win and a loss in that.
Yeah, I mean,
I beat them. I didn't pay back shit. But I'm dead.
Debt consolidation.
Yeah, the ultimate debt consolidation is death.
Just pass it on to your children.
Yeah, and they're not going to claim me. He's my stepdad.
I don't know him.
I got another one. He's real. Not that guy. He's a bum. I don't know him. So I was just like, yeah, I kind of screwed up. So needless to say, it's nice to not be dying. Although I did have to take today, my left eye was kind of hurting really bad. So I took a little bit of Excedrin, and that stopped it dead in its tracks.
Yeah.
So it's just still a little bit of pain left over from it. As long as my eye doesn't start twitching uncontrollably in that pain, I'm good.
Yeah.
Let's keep the swelling down. Well, now that we've explained this, let's actually explain what we haven't had a show. Life has happened to both of us.
Yeah.
And I realized today when we were talking about this, every time this part of year, September to December, life goes to shit for us. Every year. It happened last year.
because we release a whole fuckload of games.
Yeah, we work for a video game company. And they decide from August to November 17th. I think
they're
November
gonna do some
17th this
shit.
year, we're releasing a shitload of stuff.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna release some fucking DLC for Battlefield or some shit in December too. Just piss everybody off.
Well, December is also when we
That's
do.
just totally conjecture on my part. I don't know anything, and
We don't know anything officially, but that's.
Yeah, they don't tell. They treat us like mushrooms. They keep us in the dark, and they don't feed us shit. Well, they do feed us shit. I'm sorry.
No, I think we get people that feed us shit. Wow, can we really say all this? We're just really being salty as fuck right now. We just really got salty as fuck. Like, you can tell the season. Here's why. FIFA kills us. And it's not the game
And
itself.
to a lesser extent, Madden helps to fucking twist the knife.
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. Madden Mobile, FIFA, Madden. You give us all these games. We release a lot of games.
Rogers Cable in Canada, if you're listening to this, please fucking reinstate IP version 4, because I am so tired of talking to fucking NHL players who can't fucking connect to anything because they don't have IP version 4 access with your fucking shit gateways. Anyway, sorry.
You got real salty as fuck, man. If the wrong person hears this, you and I are both looking for new jobs. And we're not even mad about that. That's the sad part.
Actually, I'm not. I'm trying to maintain the job I have right now.
Yeah.
I get too much other shit to go looking for a job right now.
Yeah, man. And so that's true. So you're getting married, which we talked about earlier on the show.
Not only, it's got engaged like a month ago.
Yeah.
We're getting married at the end of this month. We're moving in together at the beginning of next month on the 10th. And then I've got to deal with fucking work shit. Got to move all my shit. I got to move all her shit. Like, this weekend was spent
So you're
at her
consolidating
house,
two houses into one.
helping her get all of her shit together. Like us.
Yeah, I do not envy you. You're about to be real busy.
Luckily, though, we have ring, we have the date, we have everything. Everything is planned for the wedding, like top to bottom.
You're good to go.
Yeah. Good.
Badass.
Oh, and I got confirmation today that we got our apartment.
Oh, cool. So yeah, that's good.
So recording, literally 5 minutes between my house and work. So recording should go really smooth.
Once we get everything set up.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I hope what we're gonna do, since we're moving into a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, is I might convert the second bedroom into podcast studio with my PC in there.
Mm-hmm.
That way we have room, we can go in, shut the door, so I can be loud and shit.
And do what we need to do.
Yeah.
Nice. That's badass. I hope we can do that, bro. That'll be awesome. I'm working. I just got to work.
So, Legion. No, not Legion. Gifted.
Okay. So
I was thinking about Legion because I was wondering if there was a season 2, which there is.
Has it started?
No, it hasn't started yet, but it's in the works.
Okay, cool. Because I was getting worried about that one. Because that first season was critically acclaimed. A lot of people loved it. Critics were all over it.
But that's one of the things is, like, it doesn't seem like a show that people would... It seems like a show that people would be critically acclaimed, but no one would actually fucking watch.
Yeah, exactly. I was late to the train. But, boy, when I caught on it, I loved it.
I need to finish it. I
need to finish the season
I need to
2.
start it over again because I only got to, like, episode 2 or 3.
I'm pretty good, so I can finish it, but I need to finish it. Everything else caught my attention, so I never finished it. So let's get in here. Let's talk about this. We're going to talk about the shows. We're just doing our first impressions.
Yeah. Gifted.
Okay, this is one where we're just going to go in 2 separate directions. We've been arguing about this damn show all day. You didn't like it.
It's not that I didn't like it.
Break it down. Give all your reasons.
It has potential. It's going too fast. They are literally just fucking hand up the skirt. Let's get this fucking shit going. When they should be trying to fucking ease into it. Like foreplay. Like something. You can't just start an entire season with a season finale. That's
you
exactly
felt the
what
first
they're-
episode was a season finale,
This is a season
which is
finale.
hard to argue it's not.
It's a season finale for a season that we never saw. Like we've not really been introduced properly to any of these characters. We don't care about any of them. None of them has an arc. It's just kind of like they thought, well, nobody's gonna want any backstory on this things. Everybody just wants to see fucking mutants throwing powers and shit.
Yeah.
When they should have been doing what they did with Logan. Give us a fucking story. Give us a reason to care about these characters. Make this a human story. And this is not a human story. It's not.
You're wanting a movie production from a TV show.
I don't want a movie production from a TV show. I want good writing. Breaking Bad had amazing writing.
No
Westworld has
superheroes.
amazing writing.
No superheroes.
Westworld has amazing writing.
Okay.
Fucking Game of Thrones has amazing writing.
Still no superheroes. Give me
Again.
one superhero show where you say that's amazing writing.
The first season of Arrow.
That the last one?
Most of the first season of Flash as well.
I did like the first season of
Legion.
Flash. Legion, and okay, let us break down that. So Legion starts us off, and it was an hour-long episode.
Yeah.
And
Preacher
you
was
don't
also
trust
pretty good.
You don't really trust the perspective. Like you have
It's an unreliable narrator.
totally unreliable because he's schizophrenic, so we're not sure what really happens.
But he's not schizophrenic.
He is to some extent, but there's some weird shit going on.
That's the thing is his power makes him
That-
appear to be schizophrenic.
Yeah. And see, in the comic, they just said he was schizophrenic. They dealt with his schizophrenia in the comic book. So I'm still kind of sticking like in the show, he's never been fully diagnosed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's just an unreliable narrator. And he does have other people kind of poking around in his head, but we're not sure if that was actually a person who was really there or if that was one of his personalities that he saw and now they're inside of his head talking to him. So true. But in the first episode, we kind of got a little bit of the backstory, and then we were fucking knee deep in action, you know, without them even ever saying this is Charles Xavier's son and all of that. They just kind of went into this whole thing
What I'm saying is like they could have introduced this as two separate halves that are eventually going to collide. Which is literally what happens in the first episode. There's
happens in the first 7 minutes of the first episode.
Exactly. This is the problem that I have. Is like you could have this story about the family, the son who's getting bullied, the daughter who's popular, the stay-at-home mom, the dad who's doing a job that
prosecuting mutants.
He thinks he's doing the right thing, but he doesn't necessarily agree with the job that he's doing. But he does it because he thinks it protects people. And then on the other side of it, you introduce all of the mutants who are in the underground, who are trying to move people out of the country, mutants out of the country, and keep them safe, and the things that they have to do. And if you're worried about having action, that's where your action is. And then you have bursts where they come together, like the dad investigating the mutants who are in the underground, who are moving mutants out, trying to track them down, etc., etc. All while the kids are going to school. You see the increasing bullying of the young male lead, the sister trying to protect him, coddle him, etc. And you have that family dynamic, and then eventually towards the end of the season, you have that moment where it's the dance. It's the end of the fucking school year. He gets the shit bullied out of him in the shower. He busts the whole fucking place. And then what happens in that first episode brings all of it together, ties all of it together. And that's your season finale. And then during that, you can have we get mentions of the X-Men and all of these other different teams and mutants that are gone and nobody knows what happened to them. Like, we can have explanations. We can have it from both sides. We can see the clinical racism that's going on and being taught in the schools to the kids to fill in backstory there. And then we can also see that same
systematic
racism, but from the other side of things, from the mutant side of things, and their perspective. And then we can see the dad transition from, cop to concerned father to we've got to get this shit out of here. Like, there's a whole season of this show that is missing that I want, but I don't have, and I'm never going to have it.
Yeah.
Unless they just decide that they're going to do flashbacks, which flashbacks fucking annoy me unless they're done properly. It's like, that's one of the things I hate about Arrow, is I just want Oliver. I don't give a fuck about his backstory before when he was on the island, because it's all just been terrible and shitty wigs the whole fucking time. Because that's how we show people in flashbacks, and we try to change the way that things look. We give people different hairstyles, and we give them era-appropriate clothing for that era to try to show that this is a different time, and it always just looks weird.
Have you watched the second episode of Gifted?
No. I didn't even know there was a second episode. I didn't think it was out yet.
Yeah, it's out. I'm the flip side of this coin. I'm one of those people that said, I don't need all this shit that you wanted. I just want to fucking see the story. You've already set in place in the first episode. I came in, I know the story of the mutants. So in the first episode, I'm watching it and I see, okay, you've already told me that we don't know whether the Brotherhood of Mutants or the X-Men are even around because you hadn't seen them in a while. So you set that in place for me. You now told me that there's a program called Sentinel Services, which is a federal agency. Okay, that seems legit, kind of like the Sentinel program. So you're hunting down these mutants. Now, you're not telling me what's going to happen, but basically, I'm getting the idea it's not going to be a good thing if Sentinel Services gets you. You disappear. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And at that point, you're probably dead, okay? They're not using you unless they're weaponizing you or selling you to Weapon X. We don't know. There's a lot that it's not telling us what happens to you if you go into Sentinel Services, but I'm like, cool. If they're going to address that in the season, I'm good with this. So the first episode, as I watch it, I go in and I listen to what you said, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just the other side of that coin where I felt like they wrote the show for people like me who said, I don't need none of that shit. Set this universe up. Tell me what the fuck is going on. Now, here's where the show kills me. We get to the end of that first episode, and that last fucking 15 minutes it was better than the season finale for a bunch of shows. And I'm talking this up there with like Walking Dead season finale, Fear the Walking Dead season finales. It was up there. It was like, holy shit, last 15 minutes, you did some things here. A lot of shit happened to a lot of characters, and these are mains. And I'm not even emotionally invested in those characters. I can't lie. I'm not emotionally invested in anyone. In anyone at this point. Like, I'm interested, and there's only one character who I kind of half-ass that I'm worried about, and that's it. I'll just say it because, in the first episode, one of the mutants gets captured while they're trying to save a young girl who's on the run. And it turns out she's part of the resistance, and she's a high up in the resistance. And she gets captured. They're trying to get her on a double murder charge, and her boyfriend is still leading the resistance, and he wants her, and we find out she's pregnant. A lot came out in that first episode. I was like, fuck, she's the only one. When that episode ended, I was still like, well, what's going on with her? When the fuck are we getting her? How are they going to get her? Those were the only thing I was really, 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 where I was like, okay, I got to know what's going on here.
I blame Bryan Singer for all this shit.
You said that to me earlier. Explain why.
Because he's fucking one of the executive producers. His hands are all over this shit. He's one of the people.
I thought he was only going to be dealing with the first episode.
He directed the first episode, and he's the executive producer for the fucking show, I think. I can go double check it, though.
Yeah, I just wanted to know. I thought he was only hands-on first episode, and he's out of there. So, yeah, if you want to look into that, I'm freaking interested.
Let's see. Creator, Matt Nix. Director, Bryan Singer. Writing, Matt Nix wrote it.
Okay. So he's only on the first episode.
Hold on. Produced by Bryan Singer, executive producer, episode 1.
Yeah, but look at those. Now, here's the thing. There's some names. I want you to look at that list of names. 3 names pop out to me as executive producers on that first episode. Joe Quesada.
Yeah, but Joe Quesada, Alan Fine, Stan Lee, and Jeff Loeb, they're going to be on everything that has Marvel on it. They're not directly involved with any of this shit.
I think that, you remember that was one of the things that we liked about Legion, is that with Joe Quesada, he was definitely, you can't do this with the character, you can do this. He was actively involved with that one, which I thought was a good thing because, let's face it, Legion was better than a lot of shows.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that was what his role was going to be as executive producer here. Now, there were some crazy Easter eggs, and maybe that played into why I liked the show so freaking much. I told you one of them was that the phone rings, And it's the original ringtone. Well, the song playing is the original song from the cartoon series, the X-Men.
Well, here's the reason why they did that is actually in canon, because if you remember in fucking Logan, they had comic books. They had X-Men comic books in Logan. And if this is set in that same universe, but at like a little bit earlier, because in
he said
Logan,
none of that shit
X-Men
happened in
on,
the comic books.
Yeah.
That wasn't real.
Yeah. So the comics are there, which obviously then, so there was probably a television show as well. So having that being the ringtone and having that be an Easter egg is great, but it's also kind of in canon.
Yeah. I thought that was neat. I saw the ringtone, and when I heard the ringtone, I went, damn, that's the original cartoon series. Yeah. I like that one. Stan Lee, of course, makes his appearance. They're walking into the cafe, and he's walking out.
Yeah.
I love that one. So I was kind of cool with those. And that was the first time I've seen a Stan Lee appearance where he was kind of really quiet. He didn't even have a line. He just kind of walks out as they're walking in and looks around.
His cameo in fucking Daredevil is completely silent. He's just a picture on the wall in the back of the fucking police station.
No, remember, he was at the front desk in season 1. He was the police officer season 1. When they go into the police station in season 1 of Daredevil, he was the guy at the front desk. Can I help you? And they start to tell the story. He was the on-duty officer. The thing in the picture in the background was the Avengers battle, okay. And the Hulk was the other picture over his right shoulder was the Hulk's battle with the Abomination from that movie. So there were two newspaper articles on the back.
No, there is a Marvel Netflix show where he's just a picture that's in the background.
I want to say that could have been Jessica Jones, because I don't remember him on there.
I don't remember. I
know season 1 he was the front desk police officer on Daredevil, but Jessica Jones I don't remember seeing. Yeah. Hell, I don't remember seeing him in Luke Cage. Shit, if he was in Luke Cage, he was the most hidden white man in Brooklyn.
I don't think he was in it physically. I think just a picture of him was somewhere. You know what? That's what it was. There was a picture of him on the front page of the newspaper in the newspaper machine on the street. That's what it was.
And on Luke Cage?
Yeah, in Luke Cage.
I'm about to say, I sure as hell don't remember him there. Overall, cast, impressive. Storyline, action, I'm not going to knock any of that. Special effects were better than what I expected. They were better than sci-fi, but still TV. I mean, just better than I expected. I'll just say that. The high school destruction scene, a lot went into that scene.
That's where they spent all their money this season.
Yeah, that was a lot of rampant destruction in that one.
That scene is a scene that you would have in a season finale, not a season opener.
Yeah, they went big. They went real big for that scene. I'm going to watch the rest of it. I want to see.
I want the season that leads up to all this shit. I want to see the first time that the girl figured out that she had powers and figured out what they were. I want to watch her fucking learn how to use them and not just like Rey herself into being able to use the fucking Force, like in Force Awakens, where Rey just suddenly knows how to use all of her powers.
Yeah, because in hers, she was like, I taught myself. She's hid it from her dad. You know, she kind of kept everything quiet. Understandable. She's not really going to go to her parents when your dad's putting mutants away. You're not going to really go to this guy and go, hey, guess what? I'm a mutant too, you know? But the son, man, they lose their shit over the son.
That's the problem is like, I have no emotional investment in any of these. I don't give a shit about anybody. None of these characters I care about. You haven't given me anything to care about these people. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. Like,
are you going to continue watching?
I'll probably wait until the whole season's done and then just watch it all at once. Because I think if I just watch it piecemeal, I'm going to be pissed off a lot and I'm just going to stop watching it.
No, because you try to binge watch it, you'll pull an Iron Fist and tap out at episode 6.
Nah. I watched all of Iron Fist.
Oh, I tapped out at episode 6. I thought we both quit at the same place.
No,
I'm done. I can't do this.
I watched the whole fucking thing because it was like a train wreck. Like, you know how, like, when you see an accident, you just keep looking at it?
I watched a movie this weekend, The Bad Batch, which was like this, critical thing. And I saw it one time at a draft house, saw a trailer for it, and I went, oh, I kind of want to see that. Well, it's on Netflix. Yeah, I gave it all of about 15, 17 minutes, and I went, this is boring. It's cannibals. It's boring. It's graphically violent. And I'm just not watching this anymore. I turned it off. I just totally gave up. So, yeah, I'm at that point. I will tap some shit out. I got stuff going on in my life to be wasting it on terrible TV in movies. So, I like it so far. If I was going to give it a score, opening episode, I would say B plus. Definitely room for improvement, but yeah, B plus. I'm going with a B. B plus, and then we'll go from there. What else have you been watching?
Everything.
So
Watch the season openers for all the DC shows except for Arrow, just because I forgot about Arrow.
how's the Flash?
Flash is good. There's kind of a Deus Ex Machina getting him back. Just go magic. Like, so instead of giving us, this is the other thing that pisses me off, is like they say it's been 6 months since he went into the Speed Force, and we get him back in the first episode. Not only do we get him back, but he's also redeemed and becomes the Flash again in the first episode. It's like, what happened during those 6 months? Because that looks interesting. Because we actually see Cisco running around fucking doing the superhero thing like he's supposed to be doing, and not sitting behind a keyboard the whole fucking time. You know, they shifted a lot of they shifted all of everybody around in the team to make up for the Flash, the fact that the Flash wasn't there, and they've been doing okay. So why not show us that for at least a couple of episodes? You know, like, just everybody just tries to grab him by the pussy. Everybody, including the president. Just everybody is to just go straight for the fucking jugular when they should give it some time.
I don't think anybody has that attention span anymore, except a few of us. I've said
I mean, it didn't even need to be like the whole season. It could have been 3 episodes.
I just don't think anybody does that anymore. I just think the problem that we see now is you're trying to make old school patient television for an ADHD generation, and I don't think that works anymore.
So it didn't work with Breaking Bad. It hasn't worked for fucking
Breaking
6
Bad. We were
seasons
pretty.
on.
Let's fucking be real.
It hasn't worked
that
for
first
an
episode of
hour-long.
Breaking Bad. You're full of shit. They got deep into that shit before we knew what the fuck it was. All they said is, "I'm white and I have issues and I can't do anything else because I'm a high school teacher, so I'm going to a life of crime." On that show, I thought it was a crock of shit, and white people went crazy for it.
They fucking eased him into that shit. No, it wasn't 0 to fucking 100. There wasn't him fucking,
oh, he got worse as the show went on, but
that shit ramped the fuck up.
fucking
but it took
first
a while.
episode, he's with his fucking student Aaron Paul, and they're helping me make crystal meth, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Now, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I didn't say I didn't enjoy it. I loved the show. You couldn't have made it with a black guy. You could not have made that show in this country with a black lead character. It was called The Wire, and it did not end well for any of those black guys.
What I'm saying is there's plenty of room for slow, patient fucking television. We've got fucking 6 seasons of Game of Thrones under our belt. We've got 5 seasons of fucking Breaking Bad. We've got fucking, how many seasons is it now?
Every show you're saying, I disagree wholeheartedly with that.
We've
every
got how many
episode
seasons?
kicked ass on the first one and grabbed us by the fucking nuts and
We've
ran
got
with it.
how many episodes of The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
How
First
many
episode kind of kicked it right in overdrive. You were like, fuck, we're just getting right into this, huh? We're just going balls to the wall right now.
No, actually, that episode started out really slow. It starts out with them.
Where he gets shot right there. I mean, it follows the comic book.
It starts out with a car chase. Mm-hmm. It's just a regular fucking car chase. There's no zombies. Zombies come into it later. He goes into a coma. He comes out of it. There's no zombies around.
He's in the hospital. He's trying to figure out why he's alone.
Yeah, I mean, they eased you into that. He didn't wake up to 10,000 fucking zombies out in front of the fucking
first fucking episode. You're fucking quibbling, but it was the first fucking episode. You didn't get to see all the shit that led to the zombie outbreak, Brandon. First fucking episode, zombies show up and you don't fucking know why.
We're not in the zombie outbreak until like fucking 20 minutes into the episode. It's almost half over.
You're full of more shit than I'll back up to
No, I'm not. Go watch the fucking episode.
I fucking remember that episode. You're full of shit.
It is slow.
I'm done with you on that one. You're full of shit. Every fucking show we've ever watched gave us that shit. Boom. Here in your face. Let's go.
No.
Disagree. We're going to disagree on this one, which is weird because we have not disagreed in a long time. I'm disagreeing with you with this one.
Even the Flash started out on Arrow in an episode and then gained his powers later once his show actually spun off.
I'll give you that one. One.
I've got a bunch of them.
No. All these that you've given me, it's like every fucking single show. Game of Thrones, first fucking episode. This guy's not going to die. He's the good guy. dead to the motherfucker. Why is he dead? What's going on here? And then it runs you through this journey.
Actually,
I think a lot of shows grab you by the jugular.
Thrones, the guy that you're talking about doesn't die until the end of the fucking season, dick.
Dude, he dies.
I read the fucking books.
Yeah, fuck. I don't even fuck with the books. I watch the shows, and that's what I was like.
In the books, he doesn't die until like halfway through the fucking book's over with.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking 1,000-page book.
Yeah, bitch. He dies in the first fucking episode on the show
No,
on
he
HBO.
doesn't.
Yeah. That fool was dead in the first fucking episode.
Hold on.
Sean Bean dies first episode.
No, he doesn't. Fuck off.
What is your computer doing? What was that?
I clicked on something.
I was like, that shit was interesting. What was that?
Let's see.
Let's go episode guide. When Ned Stark dies first episode, I'm telling you.
He doesn't die in the first episode. He doesn't die until after they fucking get all the way to the kingdoms, and they don't get all the way to the kingdoms until after all that shit happens with
Find
Arya.
a fucking episode guide, quit
I'm
wasting our
looking
time,
for it.
and he dies in the first episode.
No, he doesn't.
Yes.
In what episode does Ned Stark die? Season 1, episode 9.
Okay.
Go fuck yourself.
I don't give a fat baby's dick with that pace.
So,
You
again,
bitch.
I fucking know what I'm talking about.
You bitch. You win this one. Dude, that was awesome. I wish we had this recorded. That look we just gave each other was beautiful, dude. Oh, my God. Okay, so you win one. You will get one out of me while I concede, but that's it. I concede no others.
There's
Okay.
also The Tick. Have you watched the new Tick?
I have not. Is it good? It's on Amazon, right?
It's really good. It's only 6 episodes, but it's really good. And in that one, he gets the suit at the... So the whole thing is based... Arthur is the main character, not the Tick.
Okay.
And there's this ambiguity as to whether or not the Tick is just in his head or not. Mm-hmm. And he's the one that's doing all of it. But then they kind of break that ambiguity because other people start referencing the Tick and they're able to see him and stuff. But he doesn't show up until Arthur... Like, there's a part where, like, the Tick's voice is coming out of a blue light on the wall. So it's... And
The unreliable narrator thing where you're not quite sure what's going on.
Arthur's supposed to be crazy because his father was killed by the Terror when he was a child.
Oh, okay.
But he gets his suit in the first episode. But
Arthur does?
Yeah, but he doesn't put it on until the end of the episode.
I may have to mess with this. So it's pretty good?
You should watch it. It's only 6 episodes.
Okay, I used to be a fan of the Tick comic books. And then the first one with Patrick Warburton, I enjoyed it. And I watched the cartoon series, the animated series. So, I was kind of like, it'll be interesting. I don't know what they're going to do with this, but I didn't watch it.
Oh, they also have a nice visual gag in that when they released the original episode last year, the Tick's costume is kind of this weird, like, almost looks like it's biological. Mm-hmm. Kind of like they wanted to make him look like a bug. Mm-hmm. And then people complained about it. They said it looked weird. And so, like, in the second episode, he just changes. His suit is completely different. And they reference it in the show. He's like, weren't you wearing something different before? And he's like, what are you talking about? And then they never talk about it again. But they just completely change his suit for the second episode. Because they shot the first episode, they edited it, they put it out as a test. And then they shot the other episodes later and they made adjustments. So they changed the way that the Tick suit looks in like the second, third, fourth, and fifth, and sixth episode.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
It's hilarious. And once they change his suit and he looks more like the Tick from the comics and stuff. But it's fucking hilarious. You should watch
Okay,
it.
so on that one, what is your overall so far for what you've seen of the 6 episodes?
I want more. They need to do a season 2. I'll be really upset if they don't.
Wow. Okay, good stuff. Flash, so far, is it standard Flash?
Yeah, it's like it has the Status Quo song should be the opener for that show.
Okay.
It's like gotta maintain the status quo. Mm-hmm. So they bring him back in the first episode. For the first half of the episode, he's kind of like schizophrenic, drawing and writing in some weird ass fucking language. And then, oh no, Iris is in trouble. And then they go tell the Flash, oh, the Iris is in trouble. And then he just snaps out of it, grabs a suit, and goes and saves her. And then he's back and he's Barry again. And everything is the way that it was before the fucking season started. So we're back to the status quo. That's the only thing that's annoyed me about it. Mm-hmm. They brought in the thinker, mastermind, something like that. I can't remember his fucking name, but it's an old white guy that's hooked up to a machine, and then that machine can control an army of robot samurais that can fly.
What about, has the Legends of Tomorrow started?
Legends of Tomorrow is just getting weirder.
Now, I did hear
Constantine's coming back.
Is going to be there.
Yeah.
And it's Matt Ryan, Constantine.
Yeah, Constantine.
Okay, cool.
The only good Constantine. Oh, by the way, we were talking about Supernatural earlier, and Castiel's dead and all that other shit.
Yeah.
The character of Castiel is actually based on Constantine.
Oh, yeah. The comic book version, overcoat and everything.
Yeah, the comic overcoat, white shirt, loose tie. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I used to read the Hellblazer comic books back when Vertigo was fucking edgy in the early, late 80s.
I'm surprised you didn't cut yourself on all those edges.
Bro, that shit was crazy. I went through some weird times with comic books, and that was the Hellblazer I fell in love with. So when they tried to bring him into the DC universe, I was always really worried they were going to just try to sanitize him a little too much. And I was always kind of like, man, they're going to take away his snark. He's not going to be smoking. He's not going to be the asshole he always was. And no, he really stayed that way. And I was surprised how well they made that work in the Justice League Dark mythos. But I was impressed with it. Definitely impressed with it.
This is a fucking train wreck we need to talk about right here.
Which one is
You've
this
seen Inhumans?
Oh,
holy
God.
shit, it is
I have
bad.
not.
Oh, my God.
Okay, I know there was a movie that was supposed to happen, and then the movie got canceled.
The movie... Okay, so it was going to be a movie. They decided to make it a TV show. Then they decided to release the first 2 episodes as a movie into IMAX theaters and then put the show on ABC later. The show is so fucking bad, it's already been canceled and it hasn't even been on the air yet. I mean, actually, it just started, but it was canceled before it was put on the air on ABC. They're only airing it because they have to fucking contractually air it. It is that fucking bad.
What was wrong?
Everything. Literally everything.
I didn't watch it.
I mean, like, the queen, the hair. Medusa. Yeah. You know what they do to her in the first episode? They cut off all of her hair.
Why?
I'm going to assume budgetary constraints because animating her hair to attack people is expensive. And so they dealt with it by cutting her hair off. Yeah. Lockjaw is basically not even a character. He's just an elevator. He transports people to Earth. There's a scene in it that's so bad that you can actually go and watch it where the Gorgon, the guy with the hooves for feet, he's fighting on Earth against a whole bunch of guys. And you can clearly see that he's not wearing his hoof shoes that they have him in all the other scenes.
Right.
He's just wearing boots. They didn't lift the camera up so you couldn't see his feet or actually give him the hooves in post. It's bad. It's really bad. It's badly acted. It's badly written. The CG is horrible. It is bad.
And we both were going to give that a shot.
I know. I wanted it to be okay, but it's bad.
Wow. The show you're trying to get me to watch, Orville. Talk to me about it.
Orville is amazing. If you like Star Trek, the original series, The Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Enterprise, if you liked any of those shows, you will love the Orville. If you didn't like any of those shows and you just like the J.J. Abrams universe, don't bother, because it's not that. It's
so this is Star Trek for Star Trek fans.
Yeah, it's basically. I guess I was watching Total Biscuit the other day on their podcast, and they were talking about the Orville, and he basically said it best. The Orville is Star Trek with regular people. So instead of the best and the brightest, the apex of humanity that you get out of Star Trek, where all of the crew members are the best of the best. These are just a bunch of regular people on a starship, and they have regular lives, and things are funny. There's actual humor injected. So take whatever your favorite episode of Star Trek The Next Generation was, and just inject a little bit of Family Guy type humor into it, and that's the Orville. But they actually are doing real good sci-fi, and they're having morally questionable actions, like them having to decide. The last episode was they get onto this ship that's full of this enemy that's called the Krill. Now they're called the Krill, and that's hilarious because Krill are little teeny guys, and these are fucking huge warrior race and kill everybody. But they spend 90% of their time in darkness on their home planet, so they're not adapted to UV radiation. So when they go and bust into the ship, they realize that there's a massive bomb on the ship. But they also realize that there's children on the ship too. So they concoct a plan to turn up the lights and increase the amount of UV that they're emitting to the point where it burns and kills all the Krill. But they don't want to kill the children, so they shut the lights off in the kids area, and then they fry everybody else on the ship to stop them from blowing up this planet that's filled with 100,000 humans. And at the end of the episode, like, this is a fucking comedy, but at the end of the episode, he's like, the children will be, returned to Krill, and then we'll figure out a way to negotiate your return as well. And he's like, we couldn't kill the kids. And she's like, why didn't you kill the kids? And he's like, well, because they're children. And she's like, they had done us no harm. They're not going to do us any harm. And she's like, well, you basically just radicalized all those children against you. They're going to want to kill you even more now because you just killed all their parents.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit that's coming out of a fucking comedy written by Seth MacFarlane that's Star Trek-like.
You were the second person that told me I need to be on this show.
You'll love it. If you loved Star Trek, if you loved actual Gene Roddenberry Star Trek,
yes,
and not the adventure series horseshit light show that it's become.
You and I both enjoyed that movie, though. We've enjoyed most of those films. But I understand you and I also, like, I grew up with Roddenberry, the original.
Yeah.
And then I went to The Next Generation. And I remember when it was getting ready to come out, all the Star Trek fans were fucking up in arms, and it's not going to be good. And then it was an amazing show, and I'll be the first to say it. It was better than anything that, let's be honest. The original series was cheesy as shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was, but the original series had exploration, it had social commentary, it had that heart of
It
Star
dealt with
Trek.
some issues.
And then Gene Roddenberry worked on The Next Generation. Like, he didn't die until 94, 95, something like that.
But didn't he also do the first season of Deep Space Nine?
I don't know if he was around at that point.
Or he had written it. There was something about it. He had written something, and they were like, we're going to bring it to life. This was his last thing he wrote.
He probably wrote an outline for the show or something like that, but I don't think he ever actually worked.
I gotta remember what that was, but I remember I gave Deep Space Nine a shot, and I remember when it came out, just going, holy shit, this show is growing on me. It took a while. I mean, I think I had to go through the whole first season before I was like, I really like Deep Space Nine.
The reason why Deep Space Nine is better than all of the other Star Treks, in my opinion, is because that's the only one that's a character-driven show with story arcs, instead of being what Star Trek Next Generation was, and the previous Star Treks, and even what Voyager was.
Episodic.
It was episodic. Everything was encapsulated. You could pick up any one of those episodes in syndication and watch it and not have to worry about what happened before or what happened after it, because there was no continuing storyline. These are all self-contained episodes.
No, Deep Space Nine had some deep stuff going. It truly was deep.
Yeah.
There were some things happening on there, and you had to know some backstory, because you picked up an episode and you were just like, well, why do they have beef? Oh, that happened on episode 14. Well, this is episode 30. Why do they have beef?
Yeah, and with that show, all the characters actually had story arcs. They started out as one archetypal character, and by the end of the show, they had evolved. Like, Quark went from just being your regular average money-grubbing Ferengi to actually giving a shit about the people that are on the ship or that are on the space station, and, defending people and caring about them. And, his character changed over the course of the entire show. All of their characters did. But yeah, the Orville is much better than anything that Paramount has done in the last 10 years with Star Trek.
Okay.
With the exception of Enterprise. And it's funny, is everybody hates Enterprise. I fucking love the shit out of Enterprise. I would have taken 5 more seasons of that fucking show. Just like that, I would have taken it. Because, did you ever watch the last season of Enterprise?
I did not.
So in the last season of Enterprise, they do a 2-episode In a Mirror Darkly, where it's like Star Trek, but it's completely turned on its head. Like, when the Vulcans showed up on Earth after Cochrane's first voyage, they assaulted the Vulcans. stole their technology, used it to build an armada, and then started enslaving the galaxy. And it's so fucking great. They eventually find, they connected it to the original Star Trek show too. You remember how there was a ship that was basically like a sister ship to the Enterprise. It was this exact same design, but it was a different name, and it got lost. Yeah, they find that ship. It went through a wormhole and wound up in this dark universe. And so the crew of the Enterprise find it and take it over and just start using it to whoop everybody's ass because it's got faster engines, better shields, better weaponry than anything that's available at their time, because Enterprise happens before the Enterprise A in the original Star Trek series. And then like Discovery, oh, it's so bad.
Discovery's bad?
Discovery, like it's not Star Trek. It's Abrams Star Trek. It's not Roddenberry Star Trek. In the first episode, they start a fucking galactic war with goddamn Klingons. There's insubordination, there's derision, there's an attempted coup of the Federation ship by the first officer, who's supposed to be the character that's the main character and the character that we're supposed to like, and she keeps doing things that are completely and utterly unlikable.
Holy crap.
She's like...
We both had high hopes for that one.
I'm probably going to keep watching it. I mean, it may develop into something good.
You're a good person, but I can't do it.
But they, like... I feel like this is like the death knell for Star Trek.
For good Star Trek, you mean?
Yeah, like there's never going to be any more good Star Trek. It's all going to be...
I just don't want it to all be J.J. Abrams. You know, like, here's the thing that fucks me up. There's a generation of people who don't know anything other than Abrams' Star Trek.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, J.J. Abrams wanted to work on Star Wars, and he couldn't. So he took on Star Trek, and then he just made Star Trek like he would make a Star Wars film. And then by doing that, he got to make Star Wars. Which I'm all fucking... I wished he would direct all of the Star Wars movies, because the one that he directed is amazing. He's going to be... So they got rid of the director for the third movie, because he wouldn't play ball with the way that they wanted it done. So it's like, this is work for hire. This is not you fucking having a creative vision. And this motherfucker tried to have a vision, and Disney went, no.
You don't get to fuck with the toys. We tell you how you get to play with the toys.
We're telling you this is what we're doing. You're going to fucking do it. And if you don't like it, you can fuck off.
Right.
So they brought Abrams back. So he's going to be directing episode 10.
Okay.
Or 9. Yeah, because 8's the one that's coming out.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9.
So he's going to be directing 9. And then the one that's currently in the hot seat is going to be coming out soon, which I already have tickets to, actually.
You did go buy your tickets?
I've got a friend, Chris Craig, who's a fucking...
Who we saw Wonder Woman with.
Yeah.
I love that dude. Okay.
He fucking... he's a Star Wars fucking junkie.
Yeah, I'm going... Here's my thing, and I hate to say this, but opening weekend for Star Trek, I'm going to watch it that Sunday.
Star Wars, you mean?
I mean, for Star Wars, I'll see it that Sunday, and I won't have to fight for a ticket. I won't have to deal with a sellout. Now, here's the problem. I'm going to go to the 11 o'clock showing on that Sunday morning, and then I'm going to turn around and go back to the 10:45 showing of it that night with my brother. I already know how I'm going to do it. I do it every freaking time there's a big movie that comes out like that.
He just fucking sat, like, he went physically over to the box office that day and picked up, I want to say, like 10 or 12 tickets all at once. He's a fucking Alamo Drafthouse victory whore. So he buys all the tickets for everybody and then has them pay him so he can have the victory on his account.
Yeah, dude, I'm never going to be that guy. I did use my victory. You know, I had that $25 gift card, so I used it to go watch The Foreigner with Jackie Chan this past weekend. Amazing film.
Oh.
Get a chance to watch it. So, in fact, talking about film, we really hit a lot of television. I just want to touch on 2 trailers that we saw recently, and we're probably going to have to come back for a show on these.
Oh, shit.
One of them, The New Mutants. What did you think about that trailer? First impression.
I think they're doing something different with the property, which is nice.
Yeah.
I hope that the tone that the trailer sets is the tone that's in the movie.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling that this is going to be a bait and switch situation where they're going to make it look like a horror film, and then that's going to be like the first 5 minutes of the film, and then it's going to completely change in tone.
I'm going to bring some guys in. I want to do a New Mutants episode because I think a lot of people have heard of the New Mutants, but I think a lot of people, unless you're a hardcore comic book fan, geek like myself, and bought every damn thing in the 80s, you probably don't know a lot about the original New Mutants team. I do think that what we saw was the Moon Bear story, Danny Moonstar and her, where she lost control of her powers. A couple of guys, Alejandro, Hondo's a big fan of the show, man, good friend of the show. He kind of looked at it. AJ Ford, some guys like that. I think they all kind of looked at it. They're all kind of leaning toward that. Things that, that they noticed off the top. My buddy Art Ford, when he looked at it, Art said, hey, bro, Art was like, that's the way they wrote that. The logo is the same way they wrote the comic book logo in the 80s. And I was, it is. I didn't even pay attention. I had to go back and pull up some old issues and kind of look at it. So there's a lot of good things that I caught out of that trailer. I think we are seeing they're going to go for the horror aim at it. I do expect I expect Professor Xavier to show up in the last 2 minutes of the film and say, come with me. I expect that.
I don't know which Professor X is going to be, though.
That's where I'm kind of worried. I don't know who we're going to get.
I know that Patrick Stewart's done.
He's out, but that still gives us...
it could be James McAvoy, or they could cast somebody else.
I wouldn't mind if it's McAvoy.
I don't know. I'm just tired of that whole fucking timeline. They just need to chop it off.
Yeah.
They need to connect Deadpool to a brand new everybody, and then connect Legion to that, and connect Gifted to that, and connect Logan to that, and then just have that be the timeline. And stop with all this fuckery, because
all the timelines are fucking with me.
It's getting fucking tiring.
What about Thor? And I think we know we're getting not Thor. Black Panther. Second trailer came out today.
Sweet Jesus, man.
Man, oh man, is it me or does that shit just get better every time we see a trailer?
Yeah, it does.
Like, it looks way more intense every time they give us a trailer.
Marvel's got that shit down to a science. Did you notice fucking Claw's hand separate, bend down, and then a gun pop out? Because that whole arm is fake.
Oh God, that's right.
Yeah,
because he was firing at him when he fires at the car.
And he starts shooting that gun out. If you slow it down, right between the knuckles in the middle of his hand, they spread open, and then the barrel comes out, and his hand goes down, and then he starts firing, because those rounds are coming out of his forearm, because his entire arm's missing all the way up to here, because they cut it off for him stealing in fucking Wakanda.
Yep.
So that's the same tech that they're using on S.H.I.E.L.D. to replace Coulson's hand.
Man, that's looked badass. I just tell you, man, that trailer looked badass.
Jesus.
I cannot wait. We're day one in. Bro, I don't care what game comes out.
I don't give a fuck.
We're calling in, bro. You and I are calling in and going day one to that one.
Yeah.
Like, we will be, hey, meet me at Lakeline. We're going to the first fucking showing. Fuck work. I've called in last night and told them I was sick of seeing their faces, and we're going.
What we should do is just go into one and then just sneak into all the other theaters the whole day. Just watch it over and over again.
Bro, I'm down to watch that one back to back and then leave straight from there and come here and record.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to be like, day one, don't listen to this episode, hoes. We going in spoiler heavy on day one. You better go watch it before you watch this episode, because day one, we're walking in and watching. We could back to back that one. I'll have the victory points for us. I'll have that one. I'll gladly take the hit for us. Yeah. I don't know, man. I liked everything I'm seeing out of that. But let's go into this next one. Couple of weeks. Only a few more weeks. I think, 2 more weeks? And we get Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
That last trailer has me so hyped. I am so ready for this film. I am so happy to see this film.
I just want to see fucking Hulk fucking smash.
Bro. Every time I see the Hulk talk to him, hilarious. But the one where David Banner, where Ruffalo's Banner is talking to him.
I don't think that's right.
Yeah, where he's talking to him and he's just telling him, hey, you cut your hair. It looks good on you. You think so? I love that whole exchange. I watched that trailer over and over and over, and I just go, this is the buddy comedy I want from a movie. This is Thor and Hulk in space buddy comedy. It's going to be good.
Marvel's figured out that, so the contract that they have for the Hulk basically states that they can't make any standalone Hulk movies, but they can use the Hulk character as a secondary character in any film that they want. So they've basically made Planet Hulk, but backdoored it by saying it's a Thor movie, not a Hulk movie. So I would expect that screen time wise, we're probably going to see nearly equal screen time between the two of them.
Bro, like when he comes up, what's your team name? The Revengers. The Revengers? Well, we don't really need a team name. And you got Loki, Thor, Hulk, and you're going to give me Lady Sif? Mm-hmm. Bro, that's a pretty badass Cosmic Avengers team right there, dog. I was like, it's going to be good. That's a damn good team. You got a damn good team. I can't wait to see how this goes down. Yeah. Now, I'll be honest with you. Who do you think we're going to see in the last 2 minutes of it? Do we get a cameo of the Avengers? Do we get a cameo of Thanos? Or do we see the Guardians?
I think it's going to be Guardians taking Thor and Hulk back to Earth. That way we can tie the Avengers in with Guardians, and then I think we're going to have two. I think the end of the movie is going to be Guardians taking them back to Earth. Mm-hmm. And then I think we're going to go into the credits, and then the during the credits scene is going to be Thanos, and then the after the credits scene is just going to, I don't know, maybe them being in the shawarma shop again or something.
I'm so ready.
Or maybe Spider-Man and Hulk.
Bro, I don't think we're ready for that battle. We're not ready for that battle royale. I still kind of want to understand why we can't get a full-out Hulk movie. I don't know what the whole story is behind that.
So Marvel sold all the rights to all of their characters a long time ago. Hulk was one of them. That's how we got that shitty Ang Lee Hulk movie in 2004.
Right.
So the company that owns the rights, I think it's Universal, wouldn't give the rights back to Disney or Marvel, but they did give them the rights to use the Hulk in a non-standalone movie role. So he can be a background character in any Marvel movie. He just can't have his own movies. But it doesn't really matter because Hulk makes a better background character than he makes a protagonist.
True.
Because he's a fucking wrecking ball, you know? And so...
You know, he was really the first anti-hero because if you looked at Hulk, he was a rage machine who was rampant destruction, who ruined people's lives. Mm-hmm. You know, people's lives were ruined by the Hulk. He came in, he wrecked your town, he tore up buildings, you ended up homeless or injured in the aftermath of his attack. And you know, the army was really trying to protect American citizens in every Hulk comic book. Now, yeah, he was the lead character and he fought bad guys along the way, but you really think he cared about collateral damage? Mm-mm. He was just like, I'm full of rage and I'm going to beat your ass with a tank. And if I had to push you through 10 high-rise buildings and they all crumble down and there were people in those buildings,
Yeah, that's the reason why the Illuminati shot him into space and the whole Planet Hulk thing happened.
Yeah, Hulk was the ultimate anti-hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about the new Punisher trailer?
Those motherfuckers. They're not allowed to use that song, okay? They're just not.
Did it get to you, dog?
Yeah. Sorry. It's not.
Yeah, dude. Talk about looking good.
Yeah.
Man, look, I'm going to tell you right now. A lot of good things coming out of the comic book camps. A lot of good movies coming out of the comic book camps. I'm going to say something, and it will probably be the most controversial thing we ever say on this show. You and I have always been very critical of DC movies. We love their TV shows. We always think they fuck the movies up.
Except for Wonder Woman.
Till we saw Wonder Woman. Now, I like Suicide Squad, and you gave Suicide Squad probably the highest movie you had ever gave a DC film until Wonder Woman.
I think Suicide Squad would have been a lot better had they not given it to the ad agency to cut.
I think there was a lot of potential to Suicide Squad. I think we're seeing that now DC has learned. Give it to the directors. Let directors direct and get
Zack Snyder the fuck out of there.
Off of everything.
Out. Gone.
I'm going to tell you why I say this. I am more excited for the
kids.
Justice League. I can't believe you fucking just said that. I'm going to let it go. I'm not even... Holy shit, you snuck that fucking evilness in right there at the end. Oh, my God. I'm going to say this right now. I think Justice League is going to be an amazing film. I think I'm really hyped to see it.
Well, considering fucking Whedon took it over and has reshot like half the film, yeah, it's probably going to be good.
I really am hyped. I think
it seems to be like a movie where we just keep throwing Jason Momoa off of things into other things.
Yeah, that fastball special.
All the time. Like, fastball special off the fucking Batmobile. Fastball special off of fucking, what's his name?
Cyborg.
Off of Cyborg. Like, how many times are we going to do this in this film?
Yeah, because he seems like it works. Just launch Aquaman at it and let him wreck it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great film. I'm hyped to see it. We're getting that one in November, aren't we?
I don't even know.
Holy crap, dude. I just realized our November is going to kick ass. We got 2 games releasing, and then we're going to get Thor Ragnarok and Justice League.
Justice League, November 17th. Yep.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 comes out that same day.
I know what the majority of the world's going to be doing.
Justice League.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're launching one of the...
No, man. Opening loot boxes. We need to get them star cards. We got to fucking, level up our characters by paying money.
No, you saw they're changing that. Did you see a DICE address that? Oh, God, yeah. That's a whole nother fucking episode. We'll just get off of that. Yeah, that's a whole nother episode, bro.
I'm sorry. I have strong feelings about these things.
Bro, you're not telling me shit, man. Okay, I will
2
say.
hours and 50 minutes?
It's a 3-hour film?
2 hours and 50 minutes of Justice League.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I'm ready, dude. I am so ready.
Music composed by Danny Elfman and Junkie XL.
Junkie XL did the soundtrack for Suicide Squad, so it'd be kind of cool to see him and Danny Elfman what they come up with together. Yeah, I'm so ready. I am so ready. I'm more hyped for that than I should be. All right, cool. Anything else we want to cover before we get out of here?
No.
Have you watched Blade Runner yet?
No, I need to.
I need to go watch it too.
I kind of think I want to go watch it, like after this. After we're done.
I'm going to catch it this week. We can do another show if I can get it in this week. I'll figure something out. I got a couple movies I got to watch this week. I want to go see Happy Dead Day. That seems like my kind of cup of tea. And then I'll try to throw Wednesday. You got a comedy. So maybe Thursday. I might be able to throw it in Thursday night. I'll let you know. And then we can do a show about it.
All right.
Peace. Thanks for listening to the Team Lift Podcast with your hosts, Brendan Bowie and Roderick McDaniel. Join us again next week as we discuss more topics from geek culture. Be sure to follow us on our Twitter page @GoTeamLift, as well as our personal pages @CoachSilky and @ThighSide. You can direct questions and comments to us on our Twitter page, as well as find links to all of our social media outlets. Thank you for listening. See you again next week.